Hi, so in the last video we looked at the cheapest apartments in Kiev. Today we're going to look at the most expensive apartments. So we're still looking in the city center, well, within say 5 or 10 minutes of the city center, but we're going to go to the absolute top end, and then we're going to compare the return on investment from those really cheap apartments and the absolute most expensive. So let's go see what we can buy. We're talking in the millions of dollars here now. So let's see what we could buy in Kiev right now.
Okay, so the first place in our tour is this one here, and we walk into the children's area first. These people actually made this house themselves, and they have a lot of children. So they've got a whole downstairs area for them and a great play area and really well done bunk beds with desks for homework and lots of storage for toys. And it'd be really well thought out place for kids to play and be safe. And yeah, I'm actually really happy that I saw this place because it gave me a lot of hope that the style of Ukrainians is actually quite modern and quite cool. So they did a really good job. Lots of storage as well. So this is the main bedroom. It's downstairs as well with their view. It's not the nicest day. We're in March, obviously, not the nicest weather at the moment. Now in the bathroom, they've thought about this as well. It's a really cool island bench there in the middle. And yeah, it's just so much storage. Wow, I don't know how much stuff they possibly had, but it was full of stuff, so crazy. Really good family home, this one. And as we walk upstairs here, as you can see, really nice layout. It's quite modern. It's well thought out as well, how it's nice and flowing and open. And the kitchen's fantastic. They've thought about all the little parts of the kitchen that you need, and a nice balcony and deck area. Just a really well done place. So for Ukraine, I'm really impressed. Now they wanted $1.5 million for this place, so that was probably less than what I expected. It's 400 square meters and a lot of outdoor areas as well, which is pretty cool. So 1.5 million in this location at this size. It's the penthouse as well. It's really well done. There's an outside bar just there, by the way. Then we go up to the roof, and this is actually a private area just for them, and they've got a pool and a jacuzzi up here, so really nice spot that would be in summer. That would be fantastic with that view. And yeah, they've got a really nice fireplace in the lounge room too, and that was it. $1.5 million. Now we're off to the second location. All right, here we are in place number 2. Now this one is, I think, in my personal opinion, a lot uglier. It's that old kind of like Soviet style. They're trying to make it like really luxury, but like to me, I just think it had no character at all. And look, I'll let you take a look for yourself, and it'd be interesting to see what you think. If you can leave a comment to tell me whether you like the first one or the second one, I'd actually be really interested just for my own sanity.
Hi, so we're just traveling to the next apartment at the moment, and what we thought I'd quickly explain was that the real estate agent just told me that those expensive apartments, especially that second one we just saw, it is possible to find somebody to rent that out at $20,000 a month, and potentially even $30,000 a month, they said. And we're like, who could possibly afford to stay for $20,000, $30,000 a month? The apartment was big, and I guess it's, for certain people it would be nice. I didn't like that second one at all, but we're like, who could possibly afford to do that? Like, what type of people are getting? And they're saying diplomats and politicians and things like that, people with a lot of money. And we're like, well, that's a really interesting point about Ukraine in general, which is politicians in my country, in Australia, and a lot of countries throughout the world really don't make a lot of money, and they're doing it they're trying their best to help help the world and help their country, and that's what they're trying to do. They come in under a lot of scrutiny in Australia in particular for how much wealth they have and anything like that. And if there's corruption involved in the government, they're trying to stamp that out as quickly as they can, and that's, people go to jail for that in my country. But here, it's just a way of life, and the politicians and diplomats, they get into politics to become rich, to take a cut of the deals that get made inside of the country, whether it's a new highway being built and it's supposed to be $10 billion, but they say it's it's $15 billion now, and they pocket the extra $5 billion personally as a finder's fee. So there's just a problem. The corruption level here is just really high. The fact that people are willing to spend $20,000, $30,000 a month on an apartment like that is hard to believe in my eyes, but it's possible here. And I think this actually brings up a moral point of investing in an apartment like this, is that the moral issue would be that you're renting it out. People are going to give you money, and it's going to be kind of dirty money, and it doesn't sit very well with me. I like the idea of those really bad apartments that we saw, renovating those and giving them to and renting them out to normal people on normal wages, trying their best to make $400 or $500 a month. But look, I'm showing you everything that's possible here in Ukraine, and I hope this is enjoyable. So now we're going to look at what my real estate agent thinks is one of the better investments in Kiev. So it's around about $40,000. It's going to be an empty apartment, so you'll have to do the renovation, and it's actually in a really good area. It's not far. It's probably 10 minutes from the city centre by metro. So this will be interesting to see what the numbers look like from a return on investment point of view. But as you can see with the buildings, they're very they're quite Soviet style, I guess, like big block buildings with a lot of people staying in them. So it's definitely lower income housing in a way, I guess. So let's go take a look.
Oh, looks nice.
Look, it's just a pretty empty apartment. As you can see, you have to do all the renovation, so at least you don't have to gut it all and take everything out like those real cheap ones we saw. There's a little balcony as well, so that's cool. You can see the last place I saw today had a lot more style than the previous one in particular, so that was interesting. And people are actually willing to pay a lot more for this apartment. It's nearly twice the cost of the previous one, just because it's in a newer complex, and even though it's further away from the city centre, it was actually closer to a metro station, so that's actually worth quite a lot here in Kiev. And this one was far more expensive. It was nearly double the price, which was really surprising for me. All right, so here's my summary of all the apartments that we've seen so far and which one is the best investment. So firstly, I looked at the cheapest apartments, numbers 1 and 2. That was in the previous video. Now, the pros for this one is they're cheap, $65,000 in total, including the renovation. The problem is they're in bad buildings. There's a lot of work needs to be done, and they're going to go down in value. Then we've got luxury apartment number 1. This is the place that I thought was the best out of the 2 luxury apartments. Now, this one I think will get the best return on investment because even though it costs $1.5 million, that's going to be better than luxury apartment number 2, which we'll see. It's got a good design, I think. It's cool and it's a great location. It's going to be really hard to find tenants though. So renting it out for 12 months a year, that's going to be difficult. Then we got luxury apartment number 2. Now, I thought this one was ugly. It's going to also be hard to find tenants, and it was more expensive at $2.3 million. Good location, but luxury apartment number 1 was better than luxury apartment number 2. Maybe 9% we could get for luxury apartment number 1 as a ROI. The empty apartment number 1, I think we could get a ROI somewhere around 8%. It's probably going to be more like 7 or 8%, but it's only $70,000 to do the reno. It's going to be easy to rent because it's in a new building. It's going to hold its value because it's in a new building, and the location was really good. So not too bad there. And an empty apartment number 2, well, this one was just more expensive. It had the same pros as the previous one. Very easy to rent. It's actually in a better location, but you can't rent a place for more that size. You can't rent it for more than $650 a month, and it means the ROI can't really go past 7.5%. So, well, look, luxury apartment number 1 with an ROI potential of maybe over 9% is the best ROI. But I think the best investment was probably empty apartment number 1 because you could probably kind of get close to 8 and it's going to hold its value. Plus, it's a lot cheaper than the $1.5 million. So that's my opinion. Honestly, I want 20% on my return on investments for things that I do. So look, none of these are anywhere near what I would be looking for. But for those people out there who want real estate investments, this is the information you need for Kiev, and I hope that helps. And I really hope you've enjoyed these videos. It was something a little bit different from my stock market investing videos. And look, for the real estate people out there, I hope it was interesting for you. Please give me your feedback if I've missed anything, which I've probably missed many things anyway. But look, this is just my opinion, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.